Yo, first let me express my respect for Islam's masculinity, socially giving me space to grow my beard out in Philly. It seems the line between the divine and the steez of the culture is not as easily defined as it reaches across the globe, cause I've heard that the Quran's only truly read when in Arabic, and prayers have to be directed eastward because that's where he is, and in return the fashion rules come from the same areas. It doesn't sound like Allah is global maker of various kinds of people and climates. I sense the superiority. If the pillar of pilgrimage to Mecca is a real priority, the centralization of Saudi Arabia and its culture sits in contrast to the incarnation of Christ the God-man. Our God's not Jewish, he spoke through them, but he comes to us in our clothes, speaking our language fluent, unless you're crossing the border between evangelizing and colonizer, who bring culture in addition to Christ. But hey,
one Lord, one faith, he is more than the prophet, as some say. It's one God, one way, he'll return and we'll bow to him one day. One Lord, one faith, he is more than the prophet, as some say. It's one God, one way, he'll return and we'll bow to him one day.
Quran Surah 3 and 3. Enough said. Believe the gospel in the Torah. We all read. They don't respect the deity of Christ, announced the head. Yeshua rose from the grave and still Muhammad dead. They said Jesus was just a prophet, peace be upon him. When he solidified he was God, they tried to stone him. So in 1933, to all opponents, so at 355, you know you gotta own it. Galatians 2 and 20, it's not for the phonies. 40 Arabic words shouldn't be your testimony. Say you monotheistic, but God's sovereign, homie. And we embrace true monotheism, real Christians only.
One Lord, one faith, he is more than the prophet, as some say. It's one God, one way, he'll return and we'll bow to him one day. One Lord, one faith, he is more than the prophet, as some say. It's one God, one way, he'll return and we'll bow to him one day. Alhamdulillah, come one few are all. The one who's in charge gave his son to them all. The one who also rules the crescent moon and its star. The truth of Yeshua will come to them all. Surahs and deans, I am sure you believe, but are you assured that you're surely redeemed? Qurans in the deeps, are they wrong? Do they teach that Allah is our Father? His arm does it reach and calm all the storms of your heart? Is the peace? Does God give his all for the law that you preach? Through the 5 pillars build a foundation, stronger than the rock of ages, is your ground stable. One Lord, one faith, he is more than the prophet, as some say. It's one God, one way, he'll return and we'll bow to him one day. One Lord, one faith, he is more than the prophet, as some say. It's one God, one way, he'll return and we'll bow to him one day.
All the content in the WG universe is provided for free by Wrath and Grace Ministries. To help us create and distribute even more faithful content and resources, partner with us today at wrathandgrace.com/donate.